Kiss FM. Não deixe o rock sair de você.
This is Dave Faulkner from the Hoodoo Gurus, and you are listening to Kiss FM.
Salve, pessoal! Aqui é o Hafa, apresentador da Kiss FM, e chegou o dia de eu usar o meu inglês aqui que eu aprendi com tanto esforço na escola. Terei o prazer de entrevistar agora David Faulkner, o lendário vocalista da banda australiana Hoodoo Gurus, que está de volta ao Brasil depois de um longo jornada aí, 25 anos. Inclusive, agora, dia 12 de abril, eles vão se apresentar no Vibra São Paulo. Se você não conseguiu o ingresso ainda, corre lá que ainda dá tempo. Tá acabando, hein? Fica ligeiro. Hi, Dave. I'm Hafa.
Hi. Hi, Hafa.
It's a pleasure talking to you, and we can't wait to have you guys back in Brazil after 25 years, man.
Thank you so much. We are so sorry it's taken us so long to get back to Brazil. We tried many times, and unfortunately, every attempt was unsuccessful till now. So we're going to make this one count.
Cool. And last time you came, I think it was 1997, right?
It was, yes, it was. We announced the band was breaking up after that tour. Everyone knew before the tour, and we played our last concert. We thought forever in the beginning of 1998, but after 6 years of being broken up, we said, what are we doing? Let's play music again. And so we played again, and we've done more albums, and here we are today, still playing and recording and having fun.
Cool. I was researching last time you played, and I couldn't find anything. Because in 97, internet was wearing diapers yet, right?
No internet, no cell phones. It was a different time completely.
Yeah, good time. Good time.
It was a good time, but the Stone Age, I think we call that.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so I have a few quick questions for you.
Sure.
Dave, you were considered an alternative rock band worldwide, okay? Can you tell us how you engaged so many surfers, fans during the early days? Like, how did it happen? How did you make this connection?
Well, when we started in Sydney, yes, it's true. We are very much an alternative band, and the surfers, they're kind of alternative too. You know, they are very, you know, the saying we have in English is, you know, the march to the beat of their own drum. You know, they don't conform. And so the surfers, you know, they like to go out to party and you know, have an exciting time. And, you know, we're a good band to party and jump up and down to. Cool. So we started playing in the pubs that are in the more surfing areas, in Sydney especially. And they were some of our very first fans were surfers. So, and then later on, the surfers would you know, go to surf contests around the world and tell other surfers in other countries about the music they loved back in Australia. And they started, you know, they'd swap cassette recordings and give them the tapes, and that's how our music spread. It was sort of the old version of being viral, except it was hand to hand.
Pretty good niche, by the way, right?
It was a great niche. You know, they're passionate fans, and you know, and also, you know, they're kind of our people. You know, they're not, you know, they're hip.
Very good.
Here's the very sad information. None of us in the Hoodoo Gurus can surf.
Oh,
none of us.
Me too.
Yeah, right. And I live at a famous beach. I live in Bondi Beach, which is it's a very famous beach in Sydney, and a lot of surfers here. But I've never been one to join. I could never do it. I'm not good. I'm not a good swimmer.
Are you there yet now?
Yes, I'm here right now in Sydney.
Oh, very good.
I'm in Bondi Beach.
Magic.
It is. I can share a photo of where. Do I have a share screen? Here we go. Well, let's see if I can. Oh no, it's disabled. I could show you a photo of where I live, the beach where I live, Bondi Beach. But you can Google it. You can Google it. But this is Sydney right now. It's 7:30 in the morning. So this is where I live.
Whoa.
I live in Bondi. Yeah, it's nice. It's like a jungle. So there's apartments all around me, but yeah. So that's my place.
Very
cool,
nice.
Man. It's a nice day here. It's same as, you know, it's summer, just like in Brazil.
Yeah, if you say you're in Amazon jungle, I would agree.
Or maybe Bali.
Yeah, very good. So Hoodoo Gurus is celebrating 40 years, and congratulations for that, man.
Thank you. Oh, it's been fun. It's not tough at all. I mean, it's obviously, you know, requires sacrifices and things like that to do anything for a long time, but the enjoyment of playing music is so brilliant that it was easy to do this for 40 years.
Yeah, very good. And by the way, can you tell us about the toughest and the best years you had during your career so far?
Ooh, toughest. Well, the toughest one would probably be when we had to sue our record company, and that was back in the 80s. Because,
lawyers.
Lawyers, that stuff is, you know, it's just, you don't want lawyers in your life ever.
I know.
And the greatest year, well, I don't know. I mean, any year's a great year, isn't it? You know, but the fact that we're still here is pretty great. I couldn't name one year as being a special one, but it was funny because our fame, you know, we're quite well known in Australia. We've had, you know, actual pop success in Australia, as well as being an alternative band. We've sort of managed to break through to the charts. But our fame sort of grew slowly, as I say, like, you know, the surfers, you know, became fans and they told their friends and more people started coming to our concerts. And our success was gradual. And
for how long?
Well, I mean, the first album, you know, it probably by the time we released our second album, we started to have hits. You know, our singles in the first album, they did okay, but it was kind of, you know, underground still. But the second album, we actually had, you know, top 10 hits on the radio. The song Bittersweet and Like Wow Wipeout, they were both big hits in Australia. So that was kind of a big year, but you know, you know, the success kept growing, and you know, then you start touring the world, and you know, it just keeps growing. You don't, and you always look back and say, how did that happen? You know, it's very strange because it seems impossible to imagine this could happen.
Like a turning point. Hey, dudes, we are getting somewhere. There was a turning point, right?
Yeah, but the funny thing is, you only recognize them afterwards. You know, when it's happening, you're just so busy and you're just thinking about, you know, want to play really well tonight. You know, that's all you're thinking. You're not thinking like, we're going to go to New York and play or something like that. I mean, obviously those things you do notice, like playing in Brazil, like we're going to Brazil. This is incredible. You know, these things you can't imagine, you know, starting a band in, you know, in our garage, you know, back in the 80s, to imagine we'd be playing in Brazil and America and, you know, all other parts of the world is amazing. But yeah, no special year. I mean, every year has its own special things that, you know, I remember, you know, with absolute pride.
Like having a child or something like this.
Basically, yeah. It's yeah, you know, and we are family to each other, and and we share all the experiences together. So it's been incredibly unique.
Nice. You know what? Every time I fly overseas, 1,000 miles away comes to my mind.
True. Yeah, many people tell me that's their favorite Hoodoo Gurus song. In Australia, everywhere, it's one of the songs that really seems to, you know, strike people emotionally. Yeah, it's funny. When I wrote the song, I was kind of writing about myself, and in some ways about a little bit like being like a musician. You travel a lot, and you're not home, you know, so much of the time. And sometimes I felt like, do I even have a home? You know, the home is kind of where I happen to be that day.
Perfect.
But you know, everyone else, so for them, it's a song. It's all about being far away from the people they love and want to go back there as soon as possible because they miss them so much. And yes, it's really seems to be a song that, yeah, it rings a bell for a lot of people in different situations.
I love it, by the way.
Thank you. Well, we're definitely playing it. Don't worry. We're playing 1,000 miles away, Bittersweet, you know, Like Wow Wipeout, Come Anytime, Night Must Fall, Castles in the Air. These songs are all in our set because we know, or we hope we know, what the Brazilian fans want to hear, and we want to play everything.
I will ask that later.
Okay.
I heard that you draw the artwork from Chariot of Gods, your last album. Is that correct?
Yes. I on Photoshop, I put the artwork together. It's a collage of different images, and yeah, I when I was young, I used to be a painter, and my family thought I was going to be an artist rather than a musician. Music was just something I always did, but I was well known in my family as being a painter, but that sort of, you know, music took over when I was a teenager.
Nice. And it talks, and the artwork has something to do with aliens invading Earth or something like that?
That's right, yes. There's a spaceship flying over a pyramid. Basically, it's the title track, Chariot of the Gods. There was a famous book called Chariots of the Gods back in the 70s, and it was rubbish. It was, it was made up, but it was supposedly about how aliens, came to Earth and built the pyramids and, helped the, and other things, and it's, it's just, it was fantasy, but he pretended it was true, but it was silly. But the song is actually kind of using that whole idea of aliens coming to Earth and invading now and taking over the Earth and basically wiping out humans because they have
not good in predictions, by the way.
No. Well, the thing is, I'm actually. This is true, but it's not a prediction. The reason I wrote the song is to actually draw a parallel to what happened in Australia 200 years ago, when the Europeans came and they had their advanced technology and their guns and their cannons, and also, their strange clothing and also the diseases they had. And it destroyed the Aboriginal people of Australia, and they couldn't fight back because they only had spears, and it was futile, and the Europeans conquered them, and that's why I've written the song about aliens conquering the Earth, because I want people nowadays to imagine what it must have felt like back then, 200 years ago, watching those strange ships come over the horizon for the first time and thinking, who are these people? What's going to happen? That's what the song's about.
Very good. In Brazil, we had the same. In South America, we had the same situation. Absolutely.
I mean, it's happened so many places around the world, and it's still a problem. The legacy of that terrible time and the damage is done to people, the native cultures, and we have to obviously try and bring them back in and compensate for the loss and the displacement.
Of course. And by the way, lots of UFOs beating down, flying around, right?
Well, who knows, We hope so. I'd love to see a UFO. I've never seen one. It would be fantastic.
So, David, you said in a recent interview, the last time you played in Brazil, it rhymes, go. People thought you were a happy and soft rock band, right?
Yes. Yes, I think they got a shock because we're a loud rock and roll band. It's still happy, but it's just it's like the Ramones. It's happy with energy.
Yeah. And what people can expect from the gig this time, from your gigs in Brazil this time?
Well, we're going to play some songs from the new album, of course, Charity of the Gods, but we're also going to play as many of the songs that we know people in Brazil love from our old records as well. We're definitely going to play Come Anytime, 1,000 Miles Away, Castles in the Air, Night Must Fall, Bittersweet, Like Wow Wipeout. These songs are so much a part of our set anyway, anywhere we play. But we're going to put even more songs that we know are special in Brazil, because we want to make sure we give you something to remember that you will remember with absolute smile on your face forever.
Nice. And you still haven't played I Don't Mind live yet?
We do play that. In fact, we rehearsed it for Brazil. Do you want to hear us play that one? We weren't sure. We keep asking people, what song should we play? I mean, we know how to play that one. We can play that tomorrow.
Very good.
I Don't Mind. We rehearsed I Don't Mind. We rehearsed a song called The Other Side of Paradise. There's so many songs that we don't play that often. We thought we should learn those in case Brazil wants to hear that song. So we actually have been thinking about that for a while. But, there's so many songs. I mean, we can't fit them all in, unfortunately. What about the song Come On? Do you know that song?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, well, Chantilly, our promoter, said, you've got to play Come On. And we said, really? Okay. So we had to take something else out, to put that one in. So it's going to be tough to fit every song in, but there'll be a lot of them. We're hoping every song is one that you really want to hear.
Yeah, actually, there's a problem, because if you ask somebody, what do you want me to play? I don't mind. So
we were playing I Don't Mind 10 times in a row.
Yeah. Okay, Dave, your final considerations, please.
Well, my only message really to leave with people is we're so sorry. It's taken us too long to get back to Brazil. We were trying, we really tried, but finally we are coming. Don't miss us because it might be a long time before we come back. And I can tell you, you'll remember this tour for a long time if you come. So make sure you come along.
Very good. Do you have time for one question more that I just...
Absolutely, of course.
Are you getting young fans nowadays, or your audience is fixed to the 40 years old guys?
No, it's funny. We couldn't... All our career, we've been very lucky that we keep on growing, amongst a new audience. And we had people were telling me at our recent concert tour in Australia when we played the new album, the album tour, there were fans like 21 years old singing all the words of our songs.
That's good.
I think their parents might have played them our music, and that's been happening a lot as well, where people, they bring their kids to come and see the show when their kids are grown up, obviously. And it's a funny, our music translates across generations.
I see. You have other genres that beats with rock, or rock is the main genre in Australia? There's so many different genres. There's music of all sorts. You can find hip hop, you can find country, you can find jazz. Everything is there. But we always think of ourselves as a genre too. Hoodoo Gurus music. So we're the only ones that do this. Other people can sound a bit like us, but they can never actually quite be us. And that's why we feel like we have a duty to play our songs for people and spread the Hoodoo Gurus message. Thank God. Thank you guys for that.
No worries. It's a pleasure.
That's perfect, my friend. Hope you guys have a really good time here in Brazil.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
And it was a pleasure talking to you, my friend.
Absolute pleasure is mine too. So thank you so much. Cheers.
Kiss FM. Não deixe o rock sair de você.